Thank you. Can you give your full name, please?
Andrew Paul Parsons.
Mr. Parsons, you should have in front of you a bundle containing your witness statement. It is a very lengthy witness statement, 557 pages in length. Were you concerned on reading that it was a possibility that general view could have been undermined?
At this stage, I didn't understand the nature of the error in hardly any detail. I was also only about 2 months into working for Post Office in earnest, so my understanding of Horizon was pretty limited. So I wanted to understand more information before forming that view.
So letters by this stage have been drafted and sent to you for review. You are now responding to Roderick Williams and you say, I've reviewed the sub-postmaster letters. I've attached markups of the 2 letters which show the suggested amendments. I know this sounds hard, but in apologising, we are admitting some degree of culpability. I think we should maintain a more cold procedural approach to correcting what is effectively an accounting irregularity. Is that, again, something you did your own initiative without instructions on that particular matter?
Yes, these are my recommendations to Post Office.
You then say, in some circumstances, it appears that an error caused a transaction record from a former sub-postmaster at a branch to be carried over into the records of a later sub-postmaster at the same branch. In my view, this is a dangerous admission, as the complete separation between sub-postmaster records is a cornerstone principle of ensuring Horizon's integrity. Although this has happened and is completely explainable, I don't think we ever want to expressly document this. And why wouldn't you want to expressly document something that is the cornerstone of ensuring Horizon's integrity?
We're talking here about these particular letters. This isn't advice to suggest that the whole issue should not be documented.
And why wouldn't you want to document it in those letters?
Because each letter was individual to each branch. Each one was customised, and so it dealt with the issue in that individual branch.
But why wouldn't it matter? Why would you be concerned about expressly documenting something? Is it because you would be concerned about disclosure, for example, in other cases?
But disclosure of this issue may have come out anyway because the issue was documented in other documents. What I'm talking about here is the individual letters. Each one was customised for each individual sub-postmaster to reflect their position and how it impacted on them.
I'm not too sure how that answers the question that I've just asked, though, which is about disclosure in other cases. Were you concerned that by documenting it in these particular cases, it would then be on record to be disclosed in other matters? Was that a concern that you had that is expressed in this bullet point?
If it had been documented in those letters, then yes, it would have been disclosable in other matters. But my point being is there would have already been in existence documents about this issue.
And was a concern that you had that if you documented it, it would then become disclosable in other matters?
I don't believe I gave it that level of thought.
Where someone has already made a complaint and it's responding to their specific complaint.
That's what I understood.
Yes. And you've added this. You've added, in light of these discrepancies, Post Office has thoroughly investigated your branch's records, and whilst undertaking this investigation, we have ensured that any known discrepancies have not been charged to your account. I write now to confirm the outcome of our investigations. What was the thorough investigation that had taken place?
This was information provided to me by Andy Wynne of Post Office.
This was your insertion into a draft letter. What investigations had you carried out that the Post Office had thoroughly investigated the branch's records?
I had personally not carried out any investigations.
Were you nevertheless comfortable in inserting that addition?
Those were my instructions from Andy Wynne.
And thereby, by removing reference to the former sub-postmaster, it would not be clear to the person reading this letter that that strict division between sub-postmasters' accounts had not in fact functioned on that occasion.
I think it would have been possible for the sub-postmaster to have worked that out because it mentions 2010. TP8 is trading period 8, so they would have known whether that happened whilst they were the sub-postmaster or not.
So why strike it out?
Because I didn't think it was relevant to this particular sub-postmaster.
It's not because you didn't think it was relevant. We can go back to those bullet points if you want, but you said in that final bullet point that it is my view this is a dangerous admission as a complete separation between sub-postmasters' records is a cornerstone principle of ensuring Horizon's integrity. Although this has happened and is completely explainable, I don't think we ever want to expressly document it. And surely by removing reference to by the former sub-postmaster, you're making it less clear that that separation had been violated.
I accept that.